affordability to luxury, from location to high quality fittings.
Be quick before it gets taken away.
Either you are downsizing, buying your first home, or starting your investment journey.
We passed the property in at 340, private negotiations with the highest bidder, ended up selling at the vendor's price at $376,000.
This is the one you can't afford to miss.
So, congratulations! What a campaign from Jazz, Singh and Kaz and the team.
Jazz's knowledge of the local market, his use of the latest platforms in advertising made a big difference.
It was a long process, but it was brilliant. Everything went well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Beautiful experience. I've had conversations with at 7 in the morning, same night at 12 o'clock, and next day morning at 6 o'clock. That's what the commitment is. He constantly keeps on going with what we deserve for the property.
He did a brilliant job, which is way more than what I expected, and I loved it.
My name is Jaslyn from Jazz Real Estate, EV Group. I look forward to see you at one of my open homes.
Welcome everyone to Jazz TV show. I'm here with my great friend and a great professional in the finance industry, Shri from Affluence Financials. Shri, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jazz, and thanks for having me today. It's an exceptional experience to be with you.
It's an honor to have you, and I'm pretty sure the audience would learn a lot from your knowledge and the expertise. And today we'll be talking a lot about finances because the love is in the air right now since yesterday.
That's it. The finance is in the soul and heart of the people.
Exactly.
At the moment, it's in the brain as well. So people are following the media a lot, and we know what exactly is happening around. So let's talk about it.
That is so true. And I suppose people buy properties and they need money. And when they need money, then our professionals in the finance industry are the ones who play the big role. So we can't do anything without you.
See, we are the bridge, right? We are the gap fillers, basically, between the banks and the people to be in the community and support as much as we can with the knowledge and expertise what we have in finances.
Absolutely, Shri. Let's start with a bit of a brief understanding and introduction from yourself. Who's Shri? What company? What do you do? And tell us a little bit more about yourself and the audiences. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know Shri, and his company is definitely a lot of people know. I'll tell you a little bit more. I love his networking. Shri is someone I would actually look up to and ask any questions if I need to start networking, or perhaps. And Shri has actually done amazing. He is on social media. He's on every different networking events, and he's actually the organizer of a lot of beautiful events and some successful events in the past, year or two since you've been doing that?
Yeah, that's right. Since the last year, we've done, I'll talk about that in a brief. Well, I've been in banking for about 10 years with Commonwealth Bank, People's Choice Credit Union, and then ANZ Mobile Lending.
Right.
The reason for my broking, I shifted to mortgage broking, is to be much deeper to the businesses, to the community, to help and support as much as I can. I'm into educational side. I'm into the seminars. I'm into the business networking so that I can gather more businesses around me. I see businesses as individuals so that I can learn, I can grow together. I'm more passionate about sitting down with people, understand them, and learn from them. If they are developer, if they are real estate like you, who are very, very experienced in the market, I would love to learn from you all and go back to my community and my clients to teach them how to make an informed decision, basically, not to be on the wrong track, better be on the right side of the finances and help them, guide them to build their wealth strategy.
And I suppose that becomes really handy, and it's a great value education adds to anyone's journey, because I'd say enlightening is pretty critical.
Yep.
Making an informed decision, especially when it comes down to buying a home. It's a great journey. However, if the decisions are not made without a professional on your side, you can still run, but if you run and if you train with a coach, you actually can become an athlete.
Absolutely. See, that's what the difference it would make, right? I mean, we even without a lighthouse, a boat can reach the shore. But again, if the lighthouse is there to guide someone who is in the dark, and that will bring to the end of the tunnel, or to the
Exactly.
shore much quicker, much faster. The wealth is building really well for an individual who can get retired early in their age and enjoy the quality of life.
That is so true, and it's all about being stress free throughout the process.
Absolutely.
Last thing you want is to have stress throughout the process. And all right, let's jump straight into it. Let's talk about the topic of the town, hot topic since yesterday. Interest rates on hold. Our great friends at RBA have now finally decided after 10 months not increase the interest rates.
Yay!
Yay! Great news.
That's
a lot of
that's a
people.
good relief, actually. Yeah, that's a that's a great relief actually for a lot of people. Being a mortgage broker for the last 5 years, what I would educate is interest rates is only a part of a transaction or a wealth strategy. There are a lot of other things what you need to be worried about, what you've got on the plate with your home loan. Whenever you grab a home loan, there are a lot of other things what you need to be looked into, like an offset or redraw, or if it's a fixed, why it is fixed, why are you fixing it, or why are you keeping it variable, whether the interest rate is going to go down or high. How's the strategy? What's your vision? What are you thinking about next 2 to 5 years? So everything falls into picture. That's how we guide, and that's how we sit with the clients and explain them to see where they are, where they wanted to go, and we guide in the way we become a helping hand for them actually to achieve their dreams.
Exactly. Pretty critical. And I suppose the yesterday's news must be making your phones ring a lot, and phone must be ringing right now. I had a lot of phone calls come in last night. I was talking to Aaron before we were doing a live on auctions and process of selling as well. We had a lot of people coming in yesterday talking about putting the properties on the market. So I think that's a separate topic. But how do you see the market move, or the framework of the market or the finance industry moving forward? I guess or perhaps the sentiments from the buyers, or perhaps your clientele.
Well, I think I've always seen it as a positive sign. Even though interest rates are high or low, it doesn't really matter as long as an individual's wealth strategy is really intact. If the individual is surrounded by, as we discussed earlier as well, they need to have a good finance broker, a good expert in real estate, a good expert in financial planning, and good expert in an accountant, so that they can guide to build your wealth strategy.
Absolutely.
If you are surrounded with them, you can't go wrong at all. Every minute you have a question to any of these parties, just give them a call. Just ask them to come and sit with you and build your strategy, build your vision, so that you will be on the right track. And you never fall into these media hiccups of lowering the interest rates or higher the interest rates, or cashbacks or rewards. These are all the bells and whistles of the loan. But again, they only make sounds, but they're not the right ones. They're only a part of it, but there are other things what you need to be looked into. If you are sitting with a good mortgage broker or an experienced broker, he or she can guide you in the right way to build the strategy, to build the wealth or equity from the day one.
And what sort of reaction are you getting from the banks as well? I think a lot of people would be interested to know what banks are easier to lend these days, what banks are friendly, or is it based on their profile, or is it based on the person's circumstances, or perhaps their personal finances? How are the banks operating right now?
Well, banks always have the policies changed every time. Every now and then they change their policies, they update their rules and regulations, how they deal with a home loan or a business or a commercial loan for that matter. Coming back to the home loans, I always advise that we do not fix a bank before we know the strategy of an individual. We always act in the best interest of the individual.
Correct.
The banks come later.
Yes.
Okay, if we don't know what they want, what their needs are, what their strategy is, what their vision is,
Mm.
we can't get the bank and say, hey, okay, I've decided you going to the X bank, or
Mm.
someone else going to the Y bank or Z bank. No, we can't do that,
Correct.
because banks always operate as per their convenience,
True.
and we operate as per the convenience of the clients, of the prospective clients, of the individuals in the community. So if we are not acting to the best interest of the clients, then we are jeopardizing their
Yeah.
experience or their vision in their financial
Correct.
journey.
Exactly.
So
That's true.
yeah, hence we're not worried really about what banks are doing.
Mm.
We worried more sort of what the strategy of the people are.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And if I may ask you, top three, what are your favorite banks?
Oh, that's a very, very good question. Unfortunately, I may not be able to answer that.
Right.
The only reason behind, because it could be anything. It could be NAB, Westpac, ANZ, CBI, or they are the big fours. And there are many other banks who can be tailor-made depending upon the situation, what clients are going through. Someone could be Pepper, or someone could be Liberty or Latrobe, or we deal with 45 banks.
Wow.
And we deal with each and every situation differently,
Right.
based
Gotcha.
on the facts what we have, based on the experiences what client is going through, based on their journey, what they wanted to go further from here. They could be business angle involved, or they could be commercial angle involved, or they could be they wanted to fix and have an offset for it.
Wow.
As per Effluence Financials, who are my owner and director for, what we educate is basically to build equity from the day one.
Right.
We don't want to overstretch for the clients and put them in jeopardy. We don't want to do that. We always educate them not to stretch so that they lose all their savings before they buy the house.
Right.
We always make sure there is some wealth or liquid cash before they even move into the property. So there are many banks who we deal with, and every situation is different.
And that's a really valid point. And of course, I certainly understand from your perspective, because it's like a jigsaw puzzle. You try to sort of put people in the right spot to solve the puzzle as well. And that leads me to a next question, which is asked by a lot of first home buyers. If I'm a first home buyer, what advice would Shri give to myself if I'm looking at, and I suppose this is really relevant to a community in Point Cook as well, where one person sees one of their friends perhaps purchase a home, and they really want to jump off and have something similar to them as well, but their journey is totally different financial wise, but they still want to be at that level. What's your advice to them?
My advice will be black and white. It has to be your own journey. You can't copy, or you can't have that peer pressure in putting yourself into difficulty or in financial situations.
Exactly.
So what I would advise you is, what's your story? That's their story. I understand that. But they have walked on their own path.
Correct.
And you have to walk your own path.
Exactly.
Tomorrow, if you have, I can get you a loan of 1.5, 1.6 mil, which is overstretching yourself and buying a huge block of land and property. Yeah. But is your friend going to help you to pay the repayments? Well, no, right? It's your own financial journey.
Correct.
So I want you to stick onto your own guns. I want you to stick onto your own confidence, or
Correct.
your heart and soul should be at peace when you go to sleep in the night.
Exactly.
You should not put your family in.
Mine is really critical, and that again brings us to mental health video that I'm planning to do as well, because I've spoken to so many people over the last couple of weeks as well, and then they've been talking about the stress that they've gone through over the last couple of months with the rises in the interest rates and things like that. and of course, some people have been forced to sell some homes as well because of the same. But at the same time, I haven't seen much that a lot of people were expecting properties to come on the market with the interest rate rises, which is a good thing that has happened in the industry. That a lot of homes which people were thinking would come on the market because of the interest rate rise, that hasn't happened. In fact, the stock levels were about 45% lower across the country itself. Around in Point Cook, on an average, there's about 170 to 190 open homes on a Saturday.
Jeez.
So you take out, say, a few double opens for a same property, maybe 5 or 10 perhaps, but not many. On an average these days, there's about 110 open homes in Point Cook.
Wow.
So the stock levels were definitely low over the last few months. And in fact, at this coming Easter weekend on Saturday, there's only 60 open homes.
Wow. And it's during the holidays as well. That has taken into consideration too.
Correct.
Not many people would be in the town to come aggressively and look into the properties, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In fact, the data suggested pretty much at this Easter, majority of the hotels are booked out. So a lot of people are traveling.
Yeah, absolutely. See, off COVID, I have literally seen whatever the weekends or whatever the long weekend or whatever the holidays people can get, they're using that to get out of the town. That's what I've been seeing and noticing a lot. And I have a case study. Just yesterday, I spoke to someone with regards to their refinances. I mean, they were advising the same thing. We are looking at every opportunity after COVID to get out of the situation, the town where we are or the city where we are, and spend some rural time or regional time, get our mindset back and come back and work.
Exactly.
Because it is so hectic. The interest rates are going up. There's a lot of stress on us at the moment, and we can't cope.
Exactly.
You're right. You're spot on.
And there would be people in the community. When I say community, I'm talking as a whole. Where a lot of people are working at their workplaces where they really don't want to work, and they're still working because they've got mortgages to pay as well.
Absolutely.
The stress levels that are quite high because of that as well. That adds to it. Plus, your interest rates are going up. Plus, you're not happy with your work and you can't change it. A lot of people do take time off and they would like to go out. And again, that brings to a next thing, which is the increased inflation has not stopped people to travel.
Absolutely.
Well.
See, that's what has happened in the last 2-3 years in COVID. Because they have not traveled, people have got a lot of liquid cash in their account. And after COVID, after 6 months, given the time, from the last 1 year, we have seen that not many people are aggressively buying or selling in the market at this stage of ours. So all the cash, what they want to do is use on their family, which is a good thing again, that they wanted to use for their own family to get out of the situations, travel, see the world, come back, refresh, rejuvenate, and, increase their working, the happy working atmosphere, build a happy working atmosphere around, and then see how the things progress from there.
Exactly. And enlightenment happens when you switch off and assess. Sometimes when you take a break, taking break is really critical.
Absolutely.
And I'm culprit of not taking breaks over the last few years, but 2022 and our CEO of eView, if he's watching, he'll be smiling because his every time we do start of the year training or end of the year training with him, he says, in 2023, I'll do things which I promised in 2022, which were written down in 2021, that I promised myself in 2020, I will do in 2019.
Oh, my goodness.
So, and that's what his analogy is towards things that switch off, plan your breaks.
Correct.
Critically important. And everyone who's watching, it's critical to take day off. It's critical to take time off for your family. And it's always critical to take a break and just relax and reset yourself.
Absolutely. And you need to collaborate. You need to do lot of networking, know people, know the art of relationships. And
Correct.
we had this. I mean, that's a very good segue. You asked me this is about what I do more. I do a lot of seminars. I do a lot of presentations
Yes.
as a group, which is called as Healthy Wealthy Voice. And
Correct. And I'm
so
sorry
what we-
I've been comfort of not being able to attend one.
No, we understand how busy you are and how much service oriented you are to the people. Hats off to you, honestly. The videos, the blogs, I'm so much inspired by your work, Jazz.
Thank you so much.
You are an exceptional. That's okay. I mean, you don't have to apologize for that. But what
Appreciate it.
my idea is basically to bring in speakers of different careers or different businesses. Who is a mindset coach or a physical trainer or a business coach or a branding coach on LinkedIn social media platform, or how to build relationships. So what these speakers will do is basically we collaborate with 50 to 100 businesses under one roof, and we educate them all about these relationships to be built and the branding to be built on social media, so that they can go back and talk to their peers in the businesses, or talk to their clients, or talk to their prospective clients or the community to build one large community. So I wanted to make the community as small as possible, so that we all are collaborating with each other in the society, and we are helping each other, joining the hands and learn and grow together. So
And it is so important that I think collaboration of that sort is really critical, where the world's changing a lot of the times. And this was not an idea. And I really like your USP. This is really, I wouldn't call it a USP. I think it's more of a unique approach. And it tells me that you're a kind person at heart, where you're not just talking about finances there. It's about talking to people about real life people, and having true conversations. Virtual is fine. You see people in Coles. We meet people down in the shopping center on Sundays. The people who we see on the road, we catch up with them. We see in the community, dropping the kids at the school or the childcare.
Yep.
But still, in this today's world, the real conversation, the real interaction is somewhere missing.
It is missing because, Jazz, you know what is happening with the businesses? Many businesses are seeing other businesses as a business collaboration. But I see that as an individual collaboration. At the end of the day, the business is run by an individual.
Correct.
So you need to first build a relationship with that individual.
Correct.
I don't want to do business with XYZ unless I know who they are and what they are.
Exactly.
I always ask them the question, how they are, where do they live, and what's their family like, and build the relationship or the rapport, or for the longevity. I mean, you look into the individual, build a relation, work on a longevity, rather than talking about a business. Okay, I see you and I straight away ask you for a lead. It doesn't work that way.
Correct. Exactly.
If I don't know about you, or if you don't know about me, how can we even think about a business?
That is so true. At the end of the day, I can give an example where we referred someone to a client recently for some paint work at the home, and I know that I can rely on that person. Not giving referral or the business to someone.
Yeah.
It's about making sure, if my name is on the stake, on the line, and I want to make sure that person will look after my client without expecting anything back.
Correct.
The client asked me a couple of things, and I know that I've got confidence in that person who would come back and address any of the concerns the client would have.
Sure. Absolutely.
And that's where the confidence level comes in. And that is really
absolutely. Because someone as an individual, their work ethics or their honesty or their transparency, and you will be blindfolded. I mean, you have the blind trust straight away because you know them in and out, and then you start doing business with them. It's just like marrying someone, honestly, for a long relationship.
Exactly.
I mean, we have our our relationships as strong as possible. Then you can start business with them. Then you can start thinking about going on to those books, or having a repeated business, and you don't think twice to genuinely refer someone.
That is so true. From marriage analogy, that is so great. It's like we use that in real estate as well. Imagine you meet a client.
Yeah.
If I go down at Woolies, I meet someone, and they're thinking of selling. If you're the one, for an example, I come to you and say, "Sell with me." Like, who are you?
Yeah,
It's like telling someone on the first date, "Will you marry me?"
exactly. Exactly. So it does. I mean, honestly, it doesn't work in any business or with any individual for that matter. You got to know them. You got to make sure that you are connecting to soul or heart to heart. That's when the transparency come into picture. That's when
100%.
your expectations are on the table.
Exactly. That is so true. That is so true. And with the interest rates gone up, have you seen things change? And what advice, again, I believe it'll be something similar that we discussed, but maybe in a different context.
Yeah.
Interest rates gone up. Has Shri seen clients coming back and said they're not able to cope up with the repayments? Or perhaps what advice you would give to people that now they've seen this cycle of interest rate rise, which has not happened over the last many years. It did happen about 15, 20 years ago when the interest rates did go up, they came down. But this is more fresh right now, which people would remember over the next 5 to 10 years.
Absolutely, they do. Great question asked. I mean, what I would say is, as you mentioned, it is a cycle. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. You just have to be stable. All right. As long as you've got the right strategy from the day one, in the 5th or 6th year, when interest rate goes up, you wouldn't panic because you are with a strong mortgage broker who can help you in dire straits.
Correct.
He will guide you in the right way. He won't tell you to buy properties when you are not ready.
Yeah.
When your financial situation is not ready, or when you are changing jobs. I would advise you, I'll give you that answer in a straight bullet points, basically. So what I would advise to my clients is, do not panic on interest rate rise. Talk to your broker. Have a strategy now so that can help you, your vision, your family's vision in the next 5 years. Yeah. Your property will come up in the valuation. It will come up, definitely give you equity once you talk to your broker and set a strategy for it. And don't change. Stick on to your job if you're happy with it. For as long as you can, because you need to make sure that your repayments are intact for the refinance to be done, or for a better rate, or for a better product, or better offset and redraw capabilities. Have a right strategy for your loan. That's what I would.
That's a really great point, because I think when you said if you want to stay in a job, I just realized something where some people would have aspirations to move into their own businesses. I think it's critical to know as a broker, if you are planning to go into a business, or you want to work for yourself down the line, how would that look like? What industry are you planning to go into? And don't hide that from your broker, because some people would say, let's just get the loan across the line, saying that right now I'm on PAYG, I'll be able to get the loan fast, and then 2 years after I'm changing industry, or perhaps moving into a business on my own. Your broker can at least guide you that during that phase, because whenever you work for your own, that there's of course risk involved.
Absolutely, very good point, Jazz. Very well said, and that comes from an expert knowledge. Honestly, the way you're dealing with your things, the way you are connected to the ground, and the way you are connected to reading books, or acquiring knowledge with the people around you. That's fantastic, phenomenal. Thanks to you, Jazz. But the point, yes, you mentioned head on the nail. What I would say is, it has to come from your expert. Do not make any hasty decisions and regret about that a few years later. Rather, you stick with your expert doing financial planning or real estate or financial broker. Sit with them, with your mortgage broker if you trust, and give them all the vision.
Yeah.
Share your vision with them to see where you want to go, or where you want to be in the next few years, what you wanted to build.
Correct.
So that he put down on the notes, he put down on commentary, and then he will get back to you for your review in 6 months, 1 year. That's exactly what Affluence Financials does.
Correct.
So we do a lot of reviews for our clients.
Yeah.
We sit down with them every 6 months, 1 year, and tell them your valuation, your repayments has been intact. Have you changed your jobs? Has anything happened since then? So this is what you can do. You can build your equity straight away, because the valuation has come up really well for your property.
That is so critical, because I think rather than being transactional, and it goes to other real estate agents and other financial planners or perhaps brokers as well, that don't be transactional with your clients, because and clients as well, go to your agent and broker before you need one. Build relation, find someone, go interview 3 or 4.
Absolutely.
Go interview 3 or 4 real estate agents, because and I see some people would make a mistake where they would turn up to a broker or a real estate agent when they're either needing to buy or for us when they're ready to sell. Now, it'll be either 2 things. You really come across someone who's really reliable and someone's actually there to truly look after you and give you the right advice, or from a broker side, gets you what you want, whether you can afford it easily or not, or an agent who perhaps would potentially tell you how much your house is worth because you're ready to go, versus what you would end up selling for. And your next move could be you have to buy another property. And then you don't end up selling here, you end up selling there, because there was no trust and there's no relationship with a real estate agent at the same time. So things could go sour.
Absolutely, Jazz. That's exactly what the point is. I mean, you never see anyone as a transaction. If you have the passion in you, if you have the right attitude towards helping the community, you always see them as an individual, as a source of energy.
Correct.
Yeah, you wanted to imbibe that energy in you because they are very positive. They are the experts in what they do, and you want to sit with them and give them all they have.
Correct.
That's exactly what I do. If I hire a financial planner, or if I'm hiring a Jazz Real Estate, I would sit with you and listen to you all my years. I don't want to cut off, and I don't want you to, I don't want to give you my expert opinion. I'm not expert in real estate.
Correct. Exactly. Listen to the expert.
There you go. So, that's exactly right. So that's how I look at. That's how I want people to look at as well. Not to go to the barbecues or picnics and make their decisions. But come to the real estates or come to the experts in those areas and have a chat. I mean, my friend said this, is that right? Mr. Broker, how you would be able to help me? Well, there you go. But they will be more than happy to come and sit with you, have a chat, have an open discussion, and see where that leads to.
Exactly. Last thing before we wrap today, I would say a lot of the community pages have got groups and property forums. People put their comments, or perhaps to start, people put their questions. They got 20 comments from people who've either never bought a property or perhaps have no professional expertise there. I suppose rather asking people who you don't know, and it is a world that we're living in. People will rely on a Google review, which is posted by a stranger, and us human beings rely on that more than sometimes your trusted advisor's advice, because you want to validate that from people you don't know. It's a funny one though, but it works for a lot of people.
It is what it is. We can't change, can we?
Correct. I'd rather pick up the phone and try to get opinions from the experts.
Correct. Spot on. Absolutely.
And I suppose it brings us down to sort of, before we wrap up now, and again, before we say thank you to yourself, I'd say make financial decisions wisely and buy when you're ready, when you're really financially ready,
Yeah.
and psychologically prepared,
Yeah.
not because someone wants you to buy it.
Yep. I would like to sincerely say to everyone who's listening to this, and to you too as well, not to worry about the product, not to worry about the interest rate in the market. Have a good strategy, have a good vision. We are here to help. Affluence Financials always back to say that you can pay off your loan in less than 10 years.
Yeah.
Don't drag your loan for 30 years.
It's
Don't
possible.
have to. It is possible.
possible.
Absolutely. You just need the right strategy for you.
Correct.
To build the equity from the day one, and to have investment portfolio, and to pay the owner occupied as quickly as possible, and then retire. Simple.
Exactly. Very simple. Thank you so much, Sri. It was lovely talking. I'm pretty sure that we can go on for all day and we would not stop talking.
Absolutely, Jazz. And I'm very inspired to what the work you've started with, and I think my videos and my my posts as well, inspired by you too. While I was in Point Cook, while I was living in Point Cook, and what you do, I used to follow you a lot. It's fantastic to speak to you today after a long time.
Thank you so much, Sri. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching as well. If you want to reach out to Sri, we'll leave the comments. We'll leave the details in the comment section. You can reach out to Sri. I've tagged him on Facebook as well. You can click on his profile, reach out, send him a direct message as well.
Thank you so much. And come to our Healthy Wealthy Voice. We're building a huge community here.
Next one, I'm definitely coming.
No worries.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You have a lovely day. Take care.
Thanks for the opportunity. Have a great day.
You're most welcome, sir. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
I think one of the exciting things about running a national network, and obviously the way we operate and having independent agents, is their ability to actually be authentic.
So it's really important to make sure that we understand the client's needs and get the job done and see it right through to the end stage. Very important.
The fire and the passion for getting the top sale results for our clients is absolutely paramount, and it hasn't ended since the last 10 years, and I don't see it finishing anytime soon. It's more about now passing it on and passing on the skills to the new generation as well.
Helped us achieve great results in the past, and I am absolutely sure that we will continue achieving the same results in future.
Working with Jazz is all about looking after our client and give them exceptional experience.
And very much like our Jazz Real Estate, where LJ and Jazz, our directors there, are operating an absolutely sensational business. They get to be authentic. They're able to give exceptional service. They live up to our mission to be extraordinary in everything that we do.
That's the level of research we do on an individual to understand where this person has been, how long it's been on the market. As I always repeat myself, understand the journey for them to understand you as an agent as well.